What's going on, Internet? IG here again today with another Linux distro review. And yeah, I got hit in the face with a frisbee if you're wondering what this is about. And today we're going to be having a look at Puppy Linux 5.7 Slacko. Now, there are a lot of Puppy Linux distributions out there, and I'm only going to be taking a look at one that dropped relatively recently, and that is, of course, the 5.7 release of Slacko. Now, this is only going to be a mere drop in the bucket when it comes to Puppy Linux distribution reviews, so let me know in the comments below of any particular Puppy distributions you would like me to have a look at in the future, but for right now, I'm sticking to pretty basic Puppy Linux. So let's check it out. So here we have Puppy Slacko 5.7. Now, for the Puppy Linux world, there are many different types of Puppy Linux out there. There are many types of puplets, I believe they're called. I could be way off with that. The Puppy Linux, even the vanilla brand of Puppy Linux itself, has several different types of, at least Linux technology that it's based off. So the Slacko branch, for example, the one that has just come out recently, as per the time of recording of this video, is based on, well, at least it has high compatibility with the Slackware universe, so a lot of the Slackware binaries and things of that nature. Now, there are also Puppy distributions based on Precise, which is, of course, the Ubuntu LTS release from 2012. And there are many different type of Puppy Linux to achieve different tasks. But if there is one thing that they have in common, it is that they are ridiculously lightweight, and they pack in a lot of great little apps and tools to get your work done on nearly any computer out there. Ridiculously lightweight. Now, when you first boot into Puppy Linux from a USB drive or a CD, you're going to get this little quick setup toolbar, which basically allows you to customize things like your localization, your network, and your graphics. Once you're happy with how things look, it will bark at you, and then you're ready to roll. Now, the ICE window manager is what many Puppy Linux distributions use because it is ridiculously lightweight and it's very low on resources, so you can use it on a really old computer. I'm talking like pre-Windows XP era. They give you some quick utilities here to help you connect to the internet so you can get working, and then you're pretty much good to go. You've got some very task-oriented icons here on the desktop, such as browse, email, chat, plan, play, connect, etc. Then if you want a more detailed menu of what's available to you as far as the apps go, then you've got all of these menus here by right-clicking on the desktop, and you can work your way down the menu. You can see by default they do actually bundle in quite a few apps considering how lightweight this download is. And that's basically because the core of Puppy Linux is so incredibly small and it's been incredibly refined over the years that they can really pack in quite a number of applications on top of the base of Puppy Linux. So they've really got all of the applications that you would want on a portable distribution or one that you're going to run on an older computer. And when it comes to setting this distribution up or customizing it to work with your hardware, you will have to do a little bit more tinkering. It's not so much automated as what the bigger distributions are. And of course, this is just to keep things lightweight, but that's not to say that they don't give you plenty of wizards to customize things like your sound, your printing, internet, firewall, menus, keyboards, sound cards, video, you name it. They also have a few good tools down here in this menu for installing the distribution to a USB drive, or maybe even for configuring your bootloader to boot from a USB drive first up. Now, the Puppy Package Manager is what you can use to install other pieces of software to your Puppy Linux distribution. And you can see here you've got a few different repositories that you can easily enable, and you've also got a few applications in each of these categories to help you get started. So while this is relatively self-explanatory, a little bit of Linux experience would probably do you some good. Now, granted, this distribution doesn't look like $1 million, but then again, you're not going to be running it on a computer that's worth $1 million either. It is very task-oriented, it's very minimalist, it gets out of your way, and my goodness, it really gets out of your way, you can barely notice it's there. The speed with which a lot of the applications launch is also pretty incredible. You can see it's relatively instantaneous, and of course this is going to vary depending on what kind of hardware you're running. But things like the text editor, like the terminal, all of those things, you are not left waiting around for anything. So my best advice is if you have an old computer that's even pre-Windows XP era, load up Puppy Linux on a USB drive, Plug it in and see what happens. You can even burn it to a CD and load it in that way because it will load into the RAM, and presumably as long as you have more than 128 meg of RAM, you'll be able to run Puppy Linux from the RAM of your computer. That means everything is going to load incredibly fast, even on a computer that is quite dated. Okay, so I know that was a pretty quick look at Puppy Linux, but to be honest, they achieve quite a small and specific task, and that is to provide a lightning fast Linux distribution for machines that simply can't handle anything more than that. So understandably, they're going to have to take some features and toys out of it in order to strip it down to that size. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about Puppy Linux, and of course those suggestions for Puppy Linux distributions that you personally enjoy in the comments section below, or on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. I will see you all next week. And also, thank you all for the feedback from the top 3 rolling releases from my video last week. That was all pretty well received. And of course, you can go check it out in, there'll be a link after this video, as well as probably somewhere around here if you haven't seen it already. And with that, I shall say peace out, ladies and gentlemen.